Hello, welcome back. So I was walking the streets of Twitter and Facebook and this social media, and I stumbled upon a story that the former news anchor Ann Kiguta is suing her baby daddy. I don't know if he's a baby daddy or he's a husband, Jomo Gachega, for a whooping 400 million shillings in lump sum payment for child support, and or in the alternative 2.7 million shillings for monthly support. And as a family law practitioner, I found that to be interesting, and I thought maybe I should give my commentary on the same. So I've handled a number of child support and child maintenance cases, ranging from very wealthy families to those not so financially capable. I've represented women as well as men, so I think I have a bird's eye view on how that case looks like. So Ann Kiguta is suing Jomo Gachega for 400 and something million, or in the alternative 2.7 million shillings, for a simple reason that Jomo Gachega is a wealthy man, and Jomo Gachega is known to be the nephew of the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. So he's a wealthy man. So immediately I read that story, I remembered another case that I had done, and I remembered the other case law that I'd read. So a similar situation happened, I think in 2012, where Philip Moi was sued by his wife. It was during a divorce, but the wife also sued for child support. And Philip Moi came up with the excuses that he is bankrupt, he is relying on family and friends to raise funds for his children, and premised on that, he is not capable of raising whatever was being demanded. I think then the wife was demanding like 200 million. So the case dragged, and of course Philip Moi, being Philip Moi with that surname, was capable of using the judicial systems to frustrate the lady. But ultimately, a decision was made. In that decision, the court realized, the court pointed out that this is a guy, because Philip Moi was saying he's a retired soldier, he's no longer a businessman, his businesses are going down. In fact, he's relying on family and friends to raise money for his survival, and even the assets that he has were not registered in his name. And I just kind of felt that maybe in this case a similar story would be portrayed. But what does the law say? Also, what does the law say when it comes to issues with regards to children? And also, what does the law say when it comes to lump sum payment for child maintenance? So again, I think it's Section 4 of the Children's Act. It says everything surrounding children will be determined in the best interest of the child. Okay? They will not look at the father, they will not look at the mother, they will not look at their cousins and their families. They will look at what is in the best interest of the child. Okay? And I've read extensively around this issue, and I've introspected particularly how are awards made when they're involving rich personalities. Okay? So one, if you're approaching court with a greedy mindset, hoping that because someone is wealthy, you're going to be awarded extraordinary amounts of money, you are deluded, you are wrong. The court is going to look at the best interest of the child. This is not to mean that you're not going to get the best bargain, you're not going to get a better bargain than what other children have been awarded. Most likely, yes, you're going to get a better bargain because the child is a child of a known and a famous and a rich personality. So the court, when it comes to determining such cases, they will look at a number of things. One, the income of the non-custodial parent. The non-custodial parent is the parent that doesn't stay with the children. So if this is a person who is a high net worth person, the court will look at that as a factor in determining how much they need to give. And this is so that they can give the child access to the kind of lifestyle that their father has. It might not be possible, it might not be acceptable for you to be a child of a president and you're probably staying in a slum. It does not rub on well on the child psychologically. It also does not rub on well on the parent psychologically. So if your parent is a high net worth individual, most likely the court will look at the income of the parent or the asset that the parent has in making that determination. The court will also look at the child's needs and standards of living. So if this personality has other children, these other children are being schooled at Brook House, and they're having accesses to very good schools, and they travel the world, and you are equally a child of this high-profile personality, and you cannot access those facilities, the court will ensure that you as a child, your best interests are protected, and the same standards of living that your father is living or that your other step siblings are living, that you're also accorded that. The other thing that would necessitate the court to award very high maintenance amounts is the needs of the child. There are children who have special needs. Yes, you're a son of a president, but maybe you're deaf, or maybe you have a medical condition that requires a lot of medical outlays. So on top of the fact that your father is a well-known personality, you're also having your own personal challenges. Your father ought to make provision for that. The court will also look at the best interest of the child. Is it in the best interest of the child for the child to be given very dismal maintenance whilst the father has access to all this vast wealth? And most times these wealthy people will try to hide their wealth, but the court will see through and say, will it be in the best interest of the child for this child to be languishing in poverty, not getting access to schooling, or even if they're getting access to schooling, not the quality of schooling that this personality is able to provide? Okay, so the best interest of the child will also be looked at in arriving at that decision. Again, the other issue that will come into play is whether this amount should be awarded to the lady in lump sum, or whether this amount should be awarded monthly. In both cases, the one for Philip Moi and in this one for Ann Kiguta, they are asking for lump sum payments. Philip Moi, his wife, was asking for 200 million, Ann Kiguta is asking for 400 million lump sum payment. What considerations will court have before making a decision that you would be ordered to pay a lump sum payment? One is the relationship between the two parents, both the custodial parent and the non-custodial parent. If the relationship is strained, it will then go without saying that the custodial parent will really struggle to convince this other person to be giving monthly amounts every other month. So it will be a nuisance every other month for the custodial parent to keep following up with the non-custodial parent. So if it can be demonstrated through your lawyer that the relationship is so strained and that the non-custodial parent is very uncooperative, then you can put up a case to be paid a lump sum amount, so that that amount can then, you can have it and you can plan for the future needs of the child. The other thing is, if there is financial disparity, okay? So if there's financial disparity, then it goes without saying that one parent, and I think this was a commentary was made by the judge in the case of Philip Moi, that one of the parent might have access to money and they can use that access as a weapon. They can weaponize their resources to frustrate this other parent. So take them through court every other month, take them through court every other time, take them through court for them to get some semblance of justice. So if you can establish that this other parent has more resources than me by far, disproportionately more resources than me, whether in terms of money or power, and that they're going to use that to frustrate me, then you might put up a case for court to grant you a lump sum payment. You can also put up a case that you just want financial certainty. If this other custodial parent has said, and you can use their excuse that their financial stability is not right, yet you know that they are wealthy people and they have property, you can say, okay, since he's saying that his finances are not right, that his businesses are dwindling, then he might as well just sell one of his properties, sort me out and the children, and then as he fluctuates in his financial misery, at least the children's interests are secured. All right, so those are some of the cases that you can want to put up a strong case as to you being paid a lump sum amount rather than following up. So in the case of Philip Moi, again, and when I started, I gave a disclaimer. If you're greedy and if you're trying to use the children as a decoy to gain financial gain from your co-parent, then this is really not the forum, because the court is going to look at the best interest of the child. And also it will depend with how you argue your case, how you utilize your lawyers to put up a very strong case for you. But in the case for Philip Moi, they asked for 200 million. The court awarded only 250,000 per month. And this is a Moi, Maki, don't forget. They awarded 250,000 per month. But on top of that, they gave a house. They gave her a house, or it was ordered that in the event he was not going to give, I think it was something to do with, was it 60 million? She was awarded 60 million, or was it 30 million? Yes, she was awarded 30 million, either 250,000 or 30 million as a lump sum payment. And on top of that, she was awarded, to be awarded a house, or in the alternative 60 million. So again, those are the figures that flew around in that case. Don't forget that is a Moi. This one is probably a Kenyatta. We'll wait and see how it goes. But this video is to help out all other parents that are facing this particular issue, and all the other parents that are actually facing wealthy co-parents. So as always, this is Law 254 Mwakilikiti. I'm a family law practitioner. I'll be happy to hear your story. Happy to discuss the same, look at the best options to ensure that we secure a peace of mind for you, and we also secure the best interest of the child. And by the way, this is a beautiful piece of art. We're recording right here in Ikulu Suits. Ikulu Suits is an Airbnb on State House Avenue. They've been gracious enough to allow me to record my video in here. Kindly consider them when you're considering your stay in Nairobi. If you're new in Nairobi, if you're coming into Nairobi, you need to stay at some place. It's a very quiet place, very nice place, just 300 meters from State House, so security is guaranteed. And they only charge, I think, at least, I know, you say 6,500? Yes, 6,500 for this month, I think for the next few months. So if you want to access Ikulu Suits at a discount, just give me a call. I'll be happy to connect you with the host. Cheers. May God bless you.